Whoa. This is the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. Up here in the hills above Montecito. Just kind of doing a weekend with our friends. And I was, had this sort of like thought. And I was, so Owl was, I don't know, misbehaving, being standard like 4.5-year-old. And I was trying to set boundaries with him and all that stuff, and it really wasn't going anywhere. And then I took a pause for the cause, and I was sitting there, and I realized that my parenting skills with Owl are based upon the model that is 2019. I'm parenting as if I live in pre-coof reality. And I was sitting there and I was like, whoa, dude, like I have to parent from the new paradigm that's approaching. And, the part of the new paradigm is complete unknownness. But the fundamentals are all still here, but everything about what we're coming into is the unknown. And I realized that the way I'm parenting is still based upon like the old parameters of reality. And in the last couple months, Owl's grown up just as any small child would, and become more mature and is able to use his words differently and express himself differently. And in the midst of dealing with all of this, I've been distracted like everybody else, and I realized, oh, whoa, like my parenting skills haven't adjusted to fit the new environment we're all living in. And so here we are. It seems like this thing is kind of winding down on a level, or this phase of it's winding down. I noticed today is they were up in the spraying up in the atmosphere again, doing some upper aerosol injection, and I was like, oh wow, they're like, there's a sign that things are going to return back to normal. Is that because they one of the things they need to do is get their airplanes back up in the air, because you can't have a bunch of planes flying around spraying stuff if there's no reason to have airplanes up in the air, right? Anyway, I on a side note, so I was realizing that just again that the reality shift of the old paradigm versus the new paradigm's been so radical yet so subtle at the same time. I mean, for all intents and purposes, there's a certain baseline of reality that hasn't changed. The buildings are all standing, everybody's still here. Yeah, the economic turmoil seems to be in the forecast. It seems like there's an uphill road to uphill climb ahead of us, and that's everybody. And I think that part of that uphill climb is, the old world is gone. It is the new reality. What that looks like is anybody's guess. But I realized it because I'm like, yeah, Owl's not going back to school anytime soon, and none of the kids are going back to school anytime soon. So that is just baseline. And that, the whole thing shifted, man. And I think that like, there's been like, I think came to a point in the last like 48 hours where the train cars all sort of like smashed into each other, and I was like, whoa, and I had to like reboot, like, the 7 stages of grieving, if you will, is like, I found myself to be very much like frustrated and kind of angry, and then I've fully like had to do a surrender again and just be like, okay, man, like The only thing I can truly control is me and my space. And if I look outside of myself, it's like I'm pretty powerless to this whole which way the wind blows. All I can do is keep my personal relationship with God intact and operate from there. And I think in the last 48 hours, part of that thing was this like, whoa, there has been a giant shift. And what does that shift mean? And ultimately, like, I don't really know. And then I was just sitting with Owl and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like it's easy again to look at the projection that we project out there and view that as the way it is versus a reflection of what's going on in here. And I was like, whoa, because, we're watching this turn into it from a unified battle against the COOF to now it's like a political divide about like letting everybody out of their houses to get back to work. And I'm like, wow, that's even more dangerous than the COOF. And again, how does that relate to me and my son and my wife and my daughter? Well, again, it comes to the thing is it's all changed, man. Like, it is all a new game. We are in the new level. So I think we're about to merge out of this level of the game. And I think we can fully see now that the people that claim to be in charge don't know their ass from their elbows. And really all we can do is truly take charge of our own personal space and realize that it's not up to anybody else to do anything. Because at the end of the day, they're all just a bunch of monkeys trying to hump a football. Like, yeah, there's no rationale in their actions or what they're doing. And I think that sort of insanity viewed even in the reflective state of like it's all internal going external to reflect back to you so you can like adjust your internal frequency is somewhat shocking. You're like, wow, like what is going on here? And then it just takes like a simple thing where I look at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to adjust to the new program, because I think on a certain point, like there was a definite like survival instinct kick in, leader of the clan stuff kicked in, leader of your own reality kicked in, and that sort of was at the forefront of like the reality was just negotiating the terrain ahead. But now it's the immediate danger is subsided, and then now it's the slow burn of up into the new paradigm. So we're all going to be given a chance to really apply what we learned over the last month, 6 weeks. I think we've been doing this for 6 weeks now. Jeez, man, what a long 6 weeks. And apply it to the new reality. And what that is, I don't really know. It's very bizarre. I mean, there's a definite life as usual, and then right at this in the same thing, it's life is not as usual. This is a very surreal exercise in experiencing humanity and the human experience. And slowing it all down. I think I've been hypervigilant on a level of hypervigilance for 3 months now. 90 days, right? Since the end of January, I've been like super like tuned in and conscious and aware. And I think it's worn me out a little bit. And that's what I mean. I was looking at my son and I was like, oh, I'm worn out by I have to refuel, readjust, make contact with God and get into the new paradigm, because like Owl is my perfect mirror. Like, why is he not in a state of comfort? Is it because, and then I go, oh yeah, he's picking up all the energy. He's a full tuning fork, dialing himself into the energy around him. And I go, as calm and like mellow as it is on like this, for me, it's like, it's still, there's a giant level of chaos that I'm radiating in my like personal space, because I don't have any answers. I don't know what it looks like. I am trying to keep it all in the conscious contact with God and let God guide me. And yet, filtering, using my discernment to filter out all the information of what to do next or how to proceed can be very confusing and very chaotic. And that internal struggle to figure out what is going on is outwardly expressed. And I'm like, oh yeah, like the new model is stay loose, wear it like a loose garment. Don't really commit to like, oh, la-di-da again. Like that concept of just the mundane has been shattered. It's no longer gonna be mundane. Like if anyone was bored coming out of 2019, like that model's been broken. Like there's nothing boring anymore, man. It's chaos from here on out, and it's up to us to be calm into the chaos, into the fray, and radiate that to our like people. And yeah, like someone was commenting the other day, you look worn out. Like I have to admit, like I finally like realized, like, yeah, I'm worn out, man. I was worn out. I kind of rejuvenated this last couple 48 hours and took some time for myself and basically did nothing. Like, I just turned myself off and just like rested for a while, because you got to do that when you can to get ready for the next level, right? So yeah, there's a lot going on, man. It's a lot, but I just thought I would share that some of the stuff I'm still operating on the way it used to be, and that's a dangerous paradigm in the new paradigm. Like the new paradigm basically says like you have to scrap all your old templates and like rebuild your templates based upon all the good information you have, and then use the bad information not to make your new templates faulty again. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do. It's mainly like spiritual, and it's hard to, like, I think that it's easy to claim you're doing the work like locked in your house for 6 weeks, 2 months, but now we get to apply it into the chaos of restarting life. Like it's gonna be like chaos, because people aren't gonna know how to like re-engage to the new dynamic, because essentially everybody's been in a kind of a stasis, and so we have to like reacclimatize like our reality muscles and get used to the new reality. And I don't think that it's gonna be like a rubber band that just comes back together. Like I think it's like a permanently stretched out rubber band, and we're gonna have a lot of challenges moving forward. And I'm using this moment right now to like recalibrate my own space to like operate in the new system that is gonna be like overwhelmingly chaotic, because everybody is gonna emerge from their cave, and they're all gonna be like basically like readjusting their eyes to the bright light of this new reality. And we'll see how much work we've all done on ourselves in the cave, staring at the shadows. Have we truly let it all go to accept the new paradigm, or are we still caught trying to recreate the old paradigm moving forward? Like, look, my advice is, and I realized it today, the old paradigm's gone, like smashed. So we have to emerge into this new world, like ready to wear it like a loose garment, but also ready to manifest like really positive stuff moving forward. Anyway, that was, I don't know, that's about what I've got for you today. Just recalibrating as we get to reemerge into it's bright. Let me tell you, dude, the light is bright. Anyway, this is The Illusion signing off.